Three girls, all in different cliques, working together to get revenge on people for being assholes. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Today's review is on Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian, and I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. I first picked this book up because it sounded very similar to John Tucker Must Die, which I love that movie. It's fantastic and lots of fun. I figured this book would be fantastic and lots of fun as well. And I thought that it was about 3 girls trying to get revenge on one guy because he hurt all 3 of them, like in John Tucker Must Die, but it's actually 3 girls all getting revenge on 3 different people. It's about a girl named Mary who is new at the school, a girl named Lilia, and a girl named Kat. Kat and Lilia used to be friends, but they're not friends anymore. And all 3 of them work together to get revenge on 3 people who have hurt all 3 of them in their lives. The first 100 or so pages, I wasn't super into the book because it was basically just talking about the people being assholes, so the 3 main characters, kind of getting into why they want to take the revenge out on them. But the way that it was talking about how these people were being assholes to them, I felt like it was just kind of slow, and I felt like it wasn't really going deep into how they were being assholes. It was only kind of touching on it, and then also just talking about how they're super prissy and annoying. When it was talking about how these people were hurting them, I felt like it wasn't going into too much detail, and then you also don't find out what happened to Mary until way later on in the book. And up until you find out what happens, I thought something else had happened to her, which was not really a big deal. It's something that happens to everyone, and I was like, oh my god, Mary, get over yourself. So that kind of made me feel like, why does she feel like she needs to get revenge on this person who really didn't even do anything to her? But then he did. You don't know what it was until way later, and the way that they were talking about it and the way that she was narrating about it made it feel like nothing really did happen and she was just being whiny about it. I was just kind of meh about it. Once I got to the 100-page mark, I read basically the rest of it in one sitting. And once they started planning the revenge, I thought it got super good, and it was super exciting and funny and just kind of interesting to see how they all came together to work together as friends to make people's lives a living hell. And the other thing that I didn't really like about it was the fact that I can't really tell you. Randomly, some other genre gets thrown in. Just like, oh, by the way, guys, something something. And I'm going to talk about this for 1 sentence, and then we're going to pretend it never happened. And then 75 pages later, guess what, guys? That genre again, for 2 sentences. And then end of the book, new genre. It was just super weird and out of place and did not work for me. What I also didn't really like, and the only reason I didn't really like that is because this is not how things work, like in Canada, where we're not big on sports and stuff in school and everything, and I don't know if they're just doing that in the book or if this is like an actual thing where they're big on sports and cheerleading and everything, but I thought it was really weird that cheerleaders were assigned football players and that they have to cheer for that specific football player like all season long and make them cookies. What? And then they were just all like, you know, super popular annoying bitch, and I don't like reading about super popular annoying bitches. I also didn't like the ending. I know there's another book, and that's why it doesn't wrap anything up, but I wasn't looking for it to wrap anything up. It just was so abrupt. It was just like, oh, okay, it's done now. Alright. Which maybe some people like that. That's fine. I just thought it was super, super abrupt. I think it still could have ended in the same scenario, in the same scene, same situation. I just feel like the sentence it ended on I thought was just kind of lame. So overall, it was an enjoyable book. It took me a little while to get into it, but once I did, I thought it was a lot of fun. I just wasn't in love with it. I don't really know if I want to read the next one. I don't really care. So if you've read the next one, you can let me know, I guess, if you think I should keep going with it, but Reggie? Was that her name? Reggie. Reggie, that makes more sense. Reggie. And a girl named Kat, who used to be friends with the other main character, Lily.